Hello and welcome to Whale Watching Byron Bay, the original and most unique Byron Bay whale watching experience. Today you will be boarding our vessel and heading out onto the waters of Byron Bay and beyond. Chances are you will see a number of humpback whales on their annual migration, but you are also likely to see dolphins, turtles and a variety of seabirds. Before you get too excited, we need you to listen carefully to the following presentation, where we run through what to expect over the next few hours. The whales we are most likely to encounter are humpback whales migrating along Australia's east coast. These whales are well known for entertaining whale watchers with amazing acrobatics and their inquisitive nature. Throughout the tour, your vessel skipper will give you a detailed explanation of whale migration, their behaviour and biology. Your skipper will also give you information about Byron Bay's other marine life and the bay's amazing natural environment. Our crew will do everything to make your tour as enjoyable and entertaining as possible, but you must understand that whales are wild animals, and it is very difficult to predict when and where we might encounter them and how they behave once we do encounter them. We may encounter humpback whales at the beginning of the tour, or we may have to be patient and wait longer. While we are waiting for the whales to appear, we will introduce you to other amazing aspects of the Cape Byron Marine Park. All our skippers have attended eco-guide training, so feel free to ask questions about the whales or any other aspect of the tour at any time. Although it is unlikely at this stage of the migration, there is always a small chance that we don't encounter any whales on the tour. It is also important that you appreciate all whale watching tours in Australia are controlled by national regulations. These regulations determine how close we can approach the humpback whales, as well as how we can interact with them. Generally speaking, we are not allowed to approach a whale closer than 100 metres. This is to be increased to 300 metres if a calf is present. These regulations are in place to protect the whales as they migrate, as well as to ensure the safety of all whale watchers. The vessel you will be embarking on is a RIB, rigid hulled inflatable boat. This type of vessel is similar to what the Coast Guard, the Water Police and the military use for inshore coastal operations. RIBs are well known for their stability, manoeuvrability and all-round seaworthiness. This vessel is configured specifically for whale operations, giving us 360-degree viewing so you won't miss any of the action. Using this type of vessel allows us to launch our vessels directly from Byron Bay, giving us the quickest access to the humpback whales in Australia. Sometimes we encounter whales within minutes of launching the vessel. Whenever you proceed to sea on a boat, there is always the possibility of seasickness. The whale watching vessel only returns early to Byron Bay if the sea conditions become unsuitable or there is a medical emergency. Generally speaking, unless there are complications, seasickness is not considered a medical emergency and you will be on the ocean for up to 2.5 hours. If you are concerned about becoming seasick, please discuss this with shop staff before leaving to join the tour. Once this video is finished, we will ask you to stow your cameras in one of our dry boxes. This will help protect your camera when we leave the beach. Please note, a vessel at sea is not an ideal place for a camera, so we take no responsibility for any camera equipment. We will be taking photos for research purposes, from which we get many great shots of the whales, dolphins and other wildlife. We will make these available for you to view after the tour, and if you like what you see, we can put together a photo package of your tour for only $29.95. After stowing your cameras, we will direct you to lockers where you can secure valuable items such as wallets, car keys, phones, etc. Once you have locked up your valuables, please leave your key with one of the staff behind the front counter. Next, we will issue you with a spray cape and life jacket which we require you to wear at all times whilst on board the vessel. If required, the life jackets are inflated by pulling on the toggle located at the front bottom right. Accidental or deliberate inflation of the life jacket will incur a $50 service fee. We will then show you where you can store non-valuable items such as bags, etc. We suggest you use the toilets provided before you leave the centre, as you will be on the vessel for up to 2.5 hours. We also provide sunscreen, which will be available to use prior to your departure. Once everyone is ready, you will be directed to one of our minibuses to be transported down to the beach. Be careful not to hit your head as you enter the bus, and make sure to buckle your seatbelt. If you have decided you need to use the bathroom on the ride to the beach, there are public toilets you can use before boarding the vessel. Remember, this is your last opportunity before you board the vessel. You will get your feet wet when boarding the vessel, so unless you have waterproof footwear, for example Crocs or reef shoes, leave your footwear in the bus. Follow the crew down to the beach where you will meet the skipper for a pre-launch brief. When approaching the vessel, make sure to watch your footing as the sand can be uneven in places. When you are at the ladder on the side of the vessel, the skipper will direct you on what side of the vessel to sit on. Make sure you hold on firmly to the grab rails provided and watch your step as you board the vessel. When everyone has boarded the vessel, you must hold firmly to the seat handles provided and to look forward in the direction of the approaching waves. The skipper will warn everyone when he is about to sound a signalling horn, which is quite loud, so be ready to cover your ears, especially if you are seated near the front of the vessel. Everyone is to remain seated while the vessel navigates through the surf zone. At some point early in the tour, the skipper will stop the vessel and give you the option to collect your cameras and give you a short briefing on the schedule of the tour. Your skipper will then go through some information about humpback whales, briefly explaining their annual migration and, importantly, how to spot them. The skipper will also give you an orientation on how to move around on the vessel and protocol on viewing the whales. It is important to remain seated at all times when the vessel is underway. Only stand when indicated by a crew member that it is safe to do so. When standing or moving around the vessel, make use of the handholds provided. After your tour has concluded, the skipper will need to traverse the surf zone once again. He will give a short safety briefing at this time. Follow a crew member up to the bus. Remember, if you need to use the toilet, they are located near the top right-hand side of the car park. Once back at the whale centre, make sure you watch your head as you exit the minibus, and if you could hang up your spray jackets and life jackets on the rack provided, it would be appreciated. Your footwear will be located back at the whale centre, and feel free to use the toilets if required. Make sure you collect your locker key at the front desk and remove all your belongings from the cupboards before you leave. Lastly, all the pictures the skipper took on your tour will be displayed in the front shop. If you would like to purchase the pictures, see one of the staff members at the front counter. Thank you for listening, and one of our friendly staff will be with you shortly.